You too. I'm just going to literally go out and test the anchor really. I've been dying to do it. Sad, isn't it?
No, I'm with you. See you later.
Cheers, Rich. I'm out on my own. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's probably about 8 degrees today, but I've got, you know, plenty of gear on, so I'm feeling pretty warm. The boat is under engine. I've got the autopilot going, but it's absolutely stunning. There's no wind, which is fine. I've come out to test my anchor windlass, which is brand new. Not used it yet, so I'm really excited to do that, and also be a good test of doing it on my own as well. So I'm going down river to find a nice spot for anchoring. Not many boats out, maybe because it's a little bit cold. The wind is starting to freshen a little bit, and I'm cold, but that's not really an issue. Just got to dodge a powerboat that's going quite fast. That's better. Put some gloves on now. He was getting a bit cold. As you can see, he's not really wearing very much else. Okay, so here are some of the options. This is where the boat is, and this is the creek that I was kind of thinking of. It is called Bishop's Ooze, and it goes, you kind of go down here, and then you can kind of do a little circumnavigation down to the Austrian Fairway. So the other options, there's a few more. This is a nice creek here, South Yantlet Creek. Having a windlass is something that I am super excited about, because it's going to make my life, particularly being on my own, so much easier. All I've got to do with the anchor already on the bow roller is essentially go and plug in the remote control. So this is the remote control. It's pretty straightforward. It's got a connection, and you kind of just plug that into the bow locker, where there's a watertight kind of connection that's been made, and yeah, so it's fairly straightforward. Given that I'm going to be anchoring fairly shortly, I'm going to go and do that job now, because we're in the channel, there's plenty of water, great visibility. It's not a job that I want to rush. We've got the autopilot on. There's no traffic around me, so this feels like the ideal time. This windlass is designed to be mounted on the deck, not onto an anchor locker lid, and because the space for it, where the anchor chain is obviously the anchor locker, and there's a lid in that over that space. What we needed to do was to reinforce the strength of the lid. So there's extra strong hinges, so there's 3 hinges, there were only 2, and these are stainless steel, extra strong, and then on these latches which allow access to the locker. Before there were no latches at all, it was just a case of lifting it up, and what they do is they add tension that stops anything kind of rattling around and damaging. But to be able to plug in the remote, I first have to undo kind of these latches. I can lift up the locker, and you can see the chain there, and this is great actually. This is what I wanted, because I wanted access to the chain in case any chain kind of got tangled up or knotted. That was really important, and I've got this bit for plugging that in. for the remote. So a nice opening here. Let's check that there's some power. So I had to turn the key to enable the power. Let's just check. Yeah, there's power. Great. So now I'm just going to put these latches back. You might be thinking, oh, why isn't he sailing? And I guess I could be sailing, but the main reason is that I came out today to check the windlass. That is my priority, and I could faff about with the sails, but you know what, there's not that much daylight today. I just wanted to get out and be on the water. And also, one of the main reasons is we have got the wind pretty much on our nose, and that has been like that. That's been like that the whole way here. It's starting to go across the marsh now. I can cut the corner a little bit because I've got about 5 meters of tide. Now I've got to be very careful as I go across here. I'm watching the depth counter. 2.7 meters. So I know that I've got to turn to port if I need to have a little bit more water. It's always a bit squeaky bum, but I can lift the keel, and the tide is coming in, so all things like that are kind of in my favour. And I've done this a few times before, so I know I can get away with cutting the corner. 2.2 meters of water now. By letting the autopilot worry about steering and going in the right direction, just means that I can spend more time considering what's around me, looking at the instrumentation and making sensible decisions about what's going on, rather than also, be fully focused on helming, because that should be in itself a fully absorbent role. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with how this is going. So that's worked out okay. I've got to obviously go forward to release the anchor. I've got to get the boat pointing in the right direction before that, and I've got to make sure that she's fairly stationary. The only thing is we've got current and tide will be coming from this easterly direction. So from here, we've got the buoy over there, which I want to line up with. So I'm going to take the boat off the autopilot now. Okay. So I'm in control now, so it's all on me. It's getting upset. Okay, I'm going to depower a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn into the wind, and basically the wind is pretty much, I try to get the wind pretty much in line with the buoy, so that will make it a bit easier, and then hopefully the boat will slow down. I feel like she's held. I can see the fairway over there. I need to put some chain counters on. That is tight. So I'm going to put another couple of meters out. One of the reasons I wanted to be here is there's so much space around us. So if we do go backwards, actually it's not a big deal. There's 9 meters of water, so I think I've got about 25 meters of chain. So worst case, assuming the anchor is bit, then we're going to go back about 10 meters, which is only to there, and there's plenty of room for that. So I'm going to have a bit of lunch. Well, I've had a very chilled lunch, and it's about half an hour before high water now, 2:30, high water at 3. So the sensible thing to do is to certainly get out of this creek, which does dry partly at the end, before high water. It's always a sensible thing to do, and also get back in the marina before dark, which isn't too long away. So yeah, it's so peaceful here. I'd love to be able to stay longer, particularly down in the cabin. It's very cozy with the heater on, so I was quite comfy. Haven't moved too much at all. I've been checking on avionics, and yeah, we've we've hardly moved. We keep swinging a bit with the changes in the wind, but that's about it. That windlass for me is game changing. That is so easy. The fact that I could do it on my own and it was so simple was superb. Very easy to operate, just plugging in the remote control and turning on the switch for the power. Dead easy. Yeah, I'm really impressed. Came up really easily as well. Which maybe suggests it wasn't very difficult to get that CQR to break out. Maybe with a better anchor it might be harder, but with that anchor it was maybe dangerously easy. It just came straight up, and I had a fair bit of mud and seaweed on it, but yeah, definitely wasn't caked in the stuff. The Anchor windlass is a quick Genius GP2. They do a range of different models depending on the size of your boat. The one that we have, the 2000, is the top of that Genius kind of power rating. It's slightly oversized for this boat. Could have got away with, I think, the 1500, which, you know, you save 150 quid or something. Just, you know, had a talk with a guy, PSI Marine, really great guys, who installed it for me, and they were strongly recommending upsizing, and I think that's good. You should have stuff that is over specified for the boat, because it gives you that extra power. At this point, first time I've used it, I would say I would probably recommend it. It's down to the type of boat you've got, so you need to get the right windlass for the type of boat. It's definitely worth having it professionally installed, because it meant that you know, it works. You've got to make sure the gypsy and the chain and everything are all properly lined up, and they did all of that, which is fantastic. I think I've read before that people have had a lot of problems with not getting the alignment right, and then that's when it goes wrong. So yeah, I would recommend getting it professionally installed. Yeah, what else can I tell you? It's good. It works. It pulls the anchor, and it holds it very nicely. You should really lock it off, particularly in windy conditions, but I was only stopping for a short period of time today. So yeah, hope that is useful, and that you enjoyed the video. Really hope you enjoyed this video. We had a lot of fun making it. If sailing Summer Breeze makes you feel fine, then tap to subscribe.